This time on the Cheetah Diaries. Vaila and Waiy get up close and personal.
Being part of a walk like this, where you actually walk next to this magnificent animal, I think it definitely touched people.
Emily gets a boost from a visit with an old friend.
Really fills you with inspiration for your next lot of cubs.
And after tumours and toothaches, what health scare could be next for Chobe?
It was one of the cats we wanted to develop more, but there's never any guarantee.
Girl cubs Vaila and Waiy are following in their brother's paw prints. They leave Cheetah outreach soon to become ambassadors in America, so their training must continue. As ambassadors, the girls need to be confident around people. But little Vaila is still very shy. Hopefully her sister will help her feel a little more courageous on a cub walk around Spear Wine Farm.
We've got a group of guests this morning with the cub walk, so there's some pressure on her this morning to perform, but so far she's doing really well.
So this is Waiy. She's a little bit more confident than Vaila.
They're very interested in what's going on in here. They can hear all kinds of different noises going on, and so a lot of times what you'll see them doing is wandering up, tilting their heads to listen, and then they'll kind of sit down because they're unsure about what's going on, and then they'll move on when they get a little bit more curious. So
We bring them out on walks to build up their confidence so that they get used to strange smells, strange noises, strange environment. Yeah, I think they're doing really well since their brothers left. They've got each other and they were used to just being with each other as well, so it hasn't upset them at all this year too much. So yeah, they're doing really well.
While boisterous Waiy has taken the lead on this walk, how has shy Vaila coped?
The whole walk so far has actually gone really well. She's a lot more confident than the last walk we did out here. She's doing really well. She's taken the lead quite a bit this morning, walking ahead, investigating, looking at things. So yeah, she's actually turning into be a very good ambassador.
It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, we got to interact with the cubs. Very, very good, great experience. It's the first time I get to interact with these wild animals.
We'll definitely do it again, that's for sure. It's a great experience.
Chobe has always been a promising young ambassador, and the team thought that he had the potential to become their next superstar.
He's just crawls into your heart immediately, all that confidence. He just radiates confidence. Also, I think his size plays such a big role in himself. Just such a majestic cat. At your first look, he just takes your breath away, almost. It's one of those personalities that makes you actually realize why we love working with these animals so much. It's a personality, and we love them all to bits.
But his promising career has been interrupted a number of times because of health problems. Today, Chobe is being rushed to the vet once again.
He's buckled.
It's the latest in a series of devastating blows to his health. First, he contracted a virus. Next came an aggressive mast cell tumor.
It is malignant, it can spread.
But it didn't end there. Chobe was plagued by problems with his teeth. This latest problem could finally put an end to his career. After tumors and toothaches, what could be next?
Mostly those types of lesions are on the front legs or on the hind legs, and it's very often in border animals. This is something completely different.
Emily is travelling north to the Anne van Dyck Cheetah Centre to collect 5 new cubs for the Ambassador training programme. But first, she's come to say hello to an old friend, Muckle. Emily hasn't seen Muckle in 2 years.
He's doing very well.
How are you doing, big man? Oh, you're a big boy now, aren't you?
Go on, eh?
God, he's just stunning.
Okay, I'll give Cheetah Outreach one thing. Although it's full of women, you do a good job with Cheetah.
Oh, thank you.
Emily raised both Muckle and his brother Lewis, starting the cubs on their way to becoming Cheetah ambassadors.
Come, Muckle. Come, big boy. Sit. Good boy. Nave.
Lewis is fabulous. Even when he's not meant to be on the scale, he thinks that every time he comes into this room, that's what he has to do. He needs to go and sit on the scale. I'm ready. Wavy now.
Yeah, I'm gonna mix them.
The brothers were Emily's favourites, but tragically, Lewis died.
It was Lewis who had died, and as was probably apparent, he had a real special place in my heart. He would have made a fantastic ambassador. Had all the qualities that we look for in a cat that's going to go out and spread the word about the cheetahs.
It's the first time Emily has seen Muckle since Lewis's death. The reunion is going to get emotional.
Yeah, because he was still training last year when we were here, but now he's fully blown ambassador.
Yeah.
It's handler Nikki's last day at Cheetah Outreach, and she's spending it with her favourite residents, the Batted Fox family.
So it's been wonderful to watch them grow. I remember the day that they were born and having to pull them out of the den because Brad and Janet had unfortunately eaten one of their siblings. So I remember pulling out these tiny little animals that looked nothing like foxes and little round ears. And off they went to Ekendal to get hand raised. And a difficult time they had hand raising them, getting them to eat. But now, feeding them's like the hardest part because they so love their food. So they're fully grown at 6 months, these guys. So they're almost the same size as their parents. And great in encounters, interacting with people. Yeah, they're wonderful. They've each got their own little personalities. Foxtrot is by far the naughtiest and always the cheekiest. I wish I could take them with me.
Taking the 2 girls through to the running enclosure.
After a leisurely walk, the girls are let loose with the lure.
He was so keen to get running.
Cheetahs are built to run, and ambassadors are given a chance to stretch their legs regularly. It's an impressive show of speed and grace.
It's really quite hot though, probably not going to do very much. Yeah, but...
Yeah, they're very sneaky. They watch from a distance and they check out what's their shortest distance to get to it. So they watch it from here, and when it comes around the corner, they'll hop over the mound and take the shortcut. Vaila's going for it. Oh, she almost caught it. Every part of this job is great for me. Yeah, it's just so rewarding. It's fabulous.
Basically, with these kind of hands-on, very interactive things that we offer, the walks and the runs and the encounters, it's a very good way to see kind of cheetahs in action, and I guess it's just a really good way to make a really good impact on people who, seeing them in a zoo, may not get the same feeling from it. I think it's quite a special experience to actually see them running and playing with each other.
Yeah, they've had a really exciting morning, a run and a walk, so they've had a great morning. Getting them out is another story. They're so happy in here. We give them their favourite toy to encourage them out.
I think being part of a walk like this, where you actually walk next to this magnificent animal, you're up close and personal, you see the movement of this animal that's well known for its mobility and their speed, obviously. I think it definitely touched people in a way that a TV program or watching something on a documentary would never be able to touch them. And that, of course, is the whole motto for Cheetah Outreach, is to be able to get up close and personal and change your view and your perception of things.
So it's really lovely seeing one of our babies that's come through and is doing such a fantastic job. Really fills you with inspiration for your next lot of cubs, and we'll work towards producing some more champions like this guy. And yeah, when there are long lonely nights or tough times ahead, which I'm sure there will be, we can keep a picture of this beautiful boy in our minds and know that this is what it's all about.
Alan from the Anne van Dyck Cheetah Centre also has a soft spot for Muckle.
This is what Muckle does continually. He's standing up there at the moment showing off. You know, he knows he's a pretty boy. A typical ambassador from Cheetah Outreach.
And with Muckle in mind, the team are off to collect the 5 new cubs that Emily will take back to Cape Town to become future Cheetah ambassadors. Meanwhile, back at Cheetah Outreach, Liesl reveals the latest about perpetual patient Chobe.
Hey, Chobe. How are you? Hey. Hello there.
Over the last 3 weeks or so, he's become very preoccupied with his tail. We've seen some licking, we've seen some nibbling on it, pulling out hair. Gradually, we saw him losing more hair and the tail becoming a little bit raw. And yesterday morning, when we came in and we came up to do the feeding, we saw that the little tip of his tail was missing. And we discovered that it was actually bitten off, and a little piece of bone as well as some nerve and arteries were exposed. So obviously we had to immediately take him to the vet clinic, and they had a good look at it and realized that we would have to do surgery to amputate it cleanly. It was one of the cats we wanted to develop more, but you know, there's never any guarantee how things are going to turn out for any of the cats.
Could this be the tail end of Chobe's career as the Cheetah ambassador?
We've just arrived at our pickup station for the cubs. So Kim is driving down with the cubs from Shingwetse, and we're going to meet her here, and we'll take the cubs on from here. And our first stop will be down with Dr. Caldwell. He's going to have a check of the cubs, make sure they all look in good health. And then we're going to microchip them there, and then we'll go on to the airport.
Emily,
Hi.
we've got bad news.
Oh,
One of the cubs is sick.
really?
So Kim is taking him right down to Peter, so we're going to go and meet them at Peter now.
Right. Do we know what's wrong with it?
She did say one had died, but I don't know who died. So I don't know what's going on.
And we don't know from which litter or... Oh, God.
Yeah.
OK. We'll just have to head back down then and see what we find out when we get to Peter. Right, let's do it. So we're on our way to the clinic now to meet up with Dr. Caldwell and the cubs that will be there. My immediate concerns are if it's something that's infectious, whether the cubs from the same litter will be already carrying whatever the problem is. We're all a little bit on tenterhooks at the moment, waiting to see what the news is, but we won't be able to find out anything until we get there.
If the cubs aren't well enough to travel back to Cheetah Outreach, Emily might have to go back to Cape Town empty-handed, and the ambassador training programme could be put on hold. It's been a busy morning for cubs Vaila and Waiy. Hopefully all this exercise will have tired them out. They have a long plane ride ahead of them across the Atlantic to become ambassadors in America.
This is my last morning with the girls, with the cubs. So it's a very emotional day today, very sad. I've worked a lot with her just before she got used to lots of other people, so we definitely have a special bond. And then Waiy is just full of hugs and snuggles, so she just jumps right in your heart.
Waiy has grown my favorite over the past couple months as I've gotten to know her more. I've been around her since she was just little 5 months old. She's definitely got the most personality out of all of both of these guys. She's very adventurous and loves playing with toys. On your first day, your first week or so, you get to come in with the cubs, and that's always special. And I was, dreaming about cheetahs for about 2 years before I got to do this, so it was extra special for me to finally get close and hear the purring and see them look into your eyes, and it's just amazing. Yeah, we've gotten really close, and it's definitely going to be hard to see them go, but luckily they're going to America, which is where I'm from. They're going to Richmond, Virginia, and I live about probably 6 to 8 hours away from that, which in the States isn't that far. So yeah, I definitely plan on going to visit them and seeing them again. So
I've been volunteering here for just under 3 years now. Yeah, it's been also a complete privilege. It's just amazing to work with the cheetahs, and for me, even more so with the cubs as well. I really enjoy working with the cubs and helping them become ambassadors. I've now trained to become a handler, so it's such a beautiful, rewarding job.
It's finally time to say goodbye to cubs Vaila and Waiy.
It's okay, my girl. Yes, I know. It's okay, Vaila. Hello, babes. Hello, beautiful. Where's your sister?
But it's not the only goodbye at Cheetah Outreach today. Handler Nikki is moving on. After 3 years at Cheetah Outreach, it's not going to be easy, and she has to say goodbye to all her special friends.
It's been an honour and a privilege to work at Cheetah Outreach and be one-on-one with all the animals here. Each one of them have got their own personalities and own characteristics, and it's been a real treat to get to know each one of them and to work hands-on and just be a part of everything that Cheetah Outreach aims to achieve. The experience I've gained from Cheetah Outreach will never be able to be replaced with anything. It's been an honour and a privilege, and I'm delighted to have been a part and sad to say goodbye, but also excited to move on. The animals and people at Cheetah Outreach simply can't replace. Hey? All just awesome. So I guess this is it, Nikki. Great. Bye.
After receiving a panicked phone call on the road, Emily and Alan arrive at Dr. Caldwell's clinic, unsure whether they'll be able to take any of the cubs back to Cheetah Outreach.
What, did it just not look good? Was it lethargic?
And when I checked in its mouth,
Yeah.
its tongue and everything was grey.
Great, okay. The whole facial area is swollen.
I don't mind keeping it if it's not 100%. I mean, the
It's
others
not
are
100%,
fine.
it's very swollen. Yeah, I think it's starting with an abscess here.
Dr. Caldwell's had a look at this cub now and he's not 100% happy with how it's doing. It's possibly got an abscess starting there, so they're going to keep this one here so that they can continue treatment and obviously be close to Dr. Caldwell if need be, so they can come back and forth.
Now that a decision has been made about the sick cub, Dr. Caldwell has a look at the others.
We're going to examine them and put a microchip in and make sure they're fine.
676.
1676. All right, let's put this microchip in. Okay, that's up. That part, thank you.
Thankfully, the remaining 4 cubs are all healthy.
Hello, my boy. This is Yale.
What's his name?
Yale.
Yale.
You gonna live up to it? Maybe hiss.
Once again, Emily names the cubs after remote Scottish Isles.
This is Cole.
Yeah, putting and hissing at the same time. How is that possible? Oh boy.
It's a girl.
So this little one is Ailsa Craig. This is Brock of West Burrowfirth. But we'll call him Brock for short. Come then, bud. So this cub apparently is Zulu's niece. So we've come full circle with Zulu. He was one of my cubs in 2007. And obviously by the name, he was our last Z cub. And this is Zingula. So we're 26 cubs down the line from the last Zulu. And it's really nice that they're related. And he was a stunner. So hopefully she'll continue on in the same vein.
Next time on the Cheetah Diaries. Will the big move be plagued by delays?
Well, if we don't open, we're not going to have trade at Spear. We're not going to have trade here.
The cubs get their first taste of meat.
I hope she's not a vegetarian.
And after a shocking discovery, one of the cubs is rushed to the vet.
There's several possibilities in very young cats like this.